What's going on, guys? Eric Black here, Parker Minor over there. You are listening to ROCKCAST via Eric Black was here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Listen, here's the situation. We have a lot of stuff that we got to talk about this week with a good friend of ours from a very, very amazing band that we are very excited to have on the show this week. Parker, I'm gonna let you introduce.
Oh man, I get the honors. Yeah. That is awesome. Well, in that case, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's introduce Mr. Ray. How do we say it, Ray?
Luzier.
Luzier.
Ah, like lose your ear.
Luzier. Yeah, because we have Luzier Studios in the background. So we got Ray from Korn here, man. Ray, how's it going, brother?
I'm amazing. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So here we've got a situation where concerts aren't happening, Ray. And here's the thing. I don't even know. I can't even. It's craziness. Everybody's gone crazy. Listen,
yeah.
You are a drummer for the band Korn, and you can't necessarily drum in front of people. What are you doing these days? What's happening?
I'm the lead bongo player for the best vegetable band on the planet.
Nice.
And I cannot perform now. It is what it is, man. What can we do? It's a worldwide pandemic. It's crazy. It's nuts. No one predicted this. Well, some people did, but that's a whole other topic. But it's one of those things where it's funny because me and my wife always talk about it. We're like, hey, if Korn breaks up tomorrow, do we have enough dough to make it another year or two before you find another gig and blah blah blah? Because I've lived my whole entire life as a musician, and it's a giant roller coaster. As most people know, you don't just hit the jackpot and get this gig and you're set for life. That's
right.
That's the smallest minuscule of musicians on this planet. Most people are working at a coffee shop or they're busting tables and trying to get that one gig that gets them to, I was fortunate enough to, I played with David Lee Roth. I played with Jakey Lee, the DeLeo Brothers, and Army of Anyone. I've had some really good gigs through the years, done a ton of sessions. Landed the Korn gig in 2007. This is my 13th year with them, and it's been insanely amazing. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Congrats, man.
I appreciate it. So, but if you'd have told me 15 years ago I'd have been in Korn for 15 years or 13 years, I would have laughed in your face. So just don't know. There's no crystal ball. No one knows. So something like this virus to come out and them to stop all sporting events and all entertainment. And hey, let's face it, music is a giant release for people. They want to go to see shows. I mean, people come up to us after a Korn show, they go up to Jonathan and say, man, if it wasn't for your music, I would have committed suicide. You got me through a divorce. You got me through a death. It's ginormous. So it's very weird and unethical, but we're making the best of it. We all have home studios. We're writing, we're recording, we're trying to, just make the best of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And the thing is too, with home studios, man, and that's the same thing that we're dealing with over here. Because obviously we can't all be together. So we actually had to create everything that you see here. In order to function as an at-home situation. So, which is actually pretty cool. I'm seeing a lot of cool things that are happening with being at home. I'm also seeing I've been doing we'll call it at-home work. I've been freelance for about 4.5, almost 5 years now. And so that's where I work. I work out of my house. I've got the kids here. I've got my wife here. I've got all that stuff going on. And I'm seeing a lot of these people that they're coming from their 9-to-5 job and they're going home. They've been home for like 6, almost 7 months now, whatever it's been. And they're freaking out, right? Because they're home all the time. They can't go anywhere and they are freaking out. So, what I'm trying to say is music is, I think, a big part of them being able to function as an adult. And, thankfully people like you and bands like you have home studios that they're able to go into and record and still make music and just make people have a good time in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, you mentioned the kids. I'm the same way. Like on the good thing, a good note of all this is I got to spend so much with my 5 and 9-year-old, which I love so much, and it drives me crazy. I've been touring for since I was 22, probably 23.
Wow.
And I just turned 50, so I'm like, I've been touring a long time. A road is my life, So, but I have a 5 and a 9-year-old in my life, and it breaks my heart every time I leave. Before I didn't want to go home. I wanted to leave a hotel. I wanted to go on a tour bus. I love airplanes. planes. But this has been amazing, this quarantine, to spend with my kids and to homeschool. It was a whole new challenge, man. All of us in the band Korn were like, we're calling, monkeys calling me like, dude, how you dealing with this homeschooling? I mean, it's driving me crazy. I'm like, me too, bro, but we just got to make the best of it. And
yes,
but it brought us so close as a family, man.
Yeah.
I call Eric on a daily basis. I'm like, hey man, do you remember how to do this algebra? I don't remember.
Dude, like third grade stuff. It was like my seventh grade stuff. I'm like, I'm looking at my wife going, what's this multiplication? Like they're doing this weird number thing that they have.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude.
When did they start putting letters and numbers together? I am so confused right now. I have no idea what's happening. Man, yeah, it's been good. I think, depending on how you look at it, I guess, but I think once everybody's, gotten to their rhythm and their way of life, I think it's starting to look a little bit better as far as where we're going to be. We're going to be here for a minute. It's going to happen. It's going to be a minute before we can get back to normal. And that brings me to another point. Because bands and artists and things like that can't perform in a live scenario, you're seeing a lot more of this live streaming type situation coming up and doing things. I just watched a Trivium had a live stream and an actual show. They apparently rented out a venue and there was no one there, but they rented out a venue and did their thing.
Yep.
This is amazing to me because I've been live streaming and dealing with that type of scenario for a while now, and it's just now during COVID where it's all of a sudden a huge thing. Hence why we're doing this right now. What do you think about watching live streaming and as far as like the money goes and all that stuff? I mean, is that something that is going to continue, or is it just a phase?
I think, well, even my buddies, I'm from Pittsburgh, and my Pittsburgh buddy band called Code Orange. They did the same. They were one of the first bands to go. They have a new product that just came out right when the virus hit, and it was like, okay, we're going to rent out this place in Pittsburgh, put it on, and they did that. It was amazing. They had a ton of people tune in. I think over 100,000 people.
Wow.
So that's amazing. Like that's
really cool.
Yeah, we did a concert. We put a record out last year in September called The Nothing, and we did a record release party with all these contortionists and these crazy. If you ever saw our album cover, it's this guy coming down the wires. It's all kind of suspended and it's weird. And it's like he's kind of messed up. We had these live people coming out of the sky doing this. We just put that up on YouTube. People can watch it on the Korn YouTube channel, and that was kind of our thing because we never put that concert out yet. So instead of us getting together saying, hey, let's put a concert out new because of the virus, we had that kind of waiting to put out.
Right.
So we released it, did interviews from our home studios, and our editor put it together. So that was kind of cool. Is it a thing of the future? I mean, I think this opened a lot of doors for a lot of not just musicians, but a ton of my buddies. They're like, what we found out, man, is we're spending a crap load of money on this building that we found out we can do from home. So there's a lot of that going on too, where, who knows? I mean, I don't think because of the internet, it's an amazing thing. I think that there's always going to be this stream on it's instantly, if not sooner. I mean, there's, I can give a drum tip, put it online, and someone in Russia and Germany can be watching it right away.
That's so crazy.
It's amazing, man. So I think that part is never going to go away. As far as the full concerts go, they're going to figure out something. There's going to be a vaccine. We're going to work it out. I mean, but I think this opened a lot of avenues for that for future on.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's. I'm excited to see what kind of takes place in the future when all this, whatever we're going to call normal is in the future. I'm very excited to see what that means as far as what we've learned during this time. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. I mean, we started off with a little bit of COVID back in January, and then we ended up, there was a tornado that ran through Nashville. And then we have, a lot of this other stuff like Black Lives Matters and things like that. There's a lot of things going on right now. So the release with music that music gives you is just something that cannot go away. And I don't think it's going to go away. I think I agree with you with what you said. There's something's going to be figured out. Something is going to happen. Music is never going to leave.
You can't, man. I mean, I have a lot of sports friends too that play on pro teams, and it's the same thing. It's not just entertainment, as people say. It's a way of life. I mean, music saves, it heals. It's like this giant. I would die without it. It's literally my food. If I don't have music, have new inspirations coming in, I'm literally I just curl up in a ball and I become this weird. Sometimes my wife will be like, wait a minute, you haven't been in your studio in like 4 or 5. Get up. Go like just get up there, start playing, start writing, do something. And she's right. I mean, it's to some of us, it's in our blood, it's in our veins. Yeah. But to the fans, it's a way of life for them to escape their 9 to 5s, their normal quote, whatever they're doing. I have friends that roof houses every day, and it's like they need that release. They need to go rock out for 90 minutes to 2 hours and just let it all out. So it's never going to go away.
It's very therapeutic.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, now, man, I think we want to do, Parker, what do you, I got a game, but I think, what do you have real quick?
Actually, Ray, while I had you on here, man, I was going to compliment you on, I know Jonathan Davis had his solo project with the, Black, what was the name of the album? Black, how do you say that? Labyrinth, that's right. So, dude, as far as what it is and Basic Needs, I tell you, man, I know it got spun in Nashville, but Basic Needs, the uncut non-radio version, let me get that out, was so cool, man, because your drumming on that track was just very it was just so. Tell me how you did all that, because I know that had to be a huge track to cut and to record.
Thank you, man. It means a lot that you say that, because it's sometimes the solo records get thrown to the side, and people are like, when's the new Korn record coming out? And so I appreciate you appreciating that. That record happened. I just got the Korn gig in 2007. We did a 36 country tour, not state, 36 country tour in 4.5 months in 2008. And I brain tumor when I got back from that, because I didn't know what day of week it was. I didn't know what planet I was on. And we get back, and Jonathan calls me. He's, hey, Ray, can you come to the studio? We had a studio in Hollywood Boulevard at the time. He's like, can you come down here? I'm doing this solo record with Shankar that played with Phil Collins, and he's on a lot of those giant Phil Collins hits, and he played with a ton of people. And I got Miles Mosley that's up right from Lauryn Hill playing bass, and it's not a rock band. It's a totally different thing, but I really think I love your creativity. I want you to play on this. I'm thinking, dude, let me add it, please. So, we went in the studio, and me and Jonathan, there's videos on YouTube you can find of me and him playing like taiko drums together, and big giant gongs and just all this percussion. We had a blast doing it. And so that Basic Needs take that you hear on the record is him going, hey, Ray, just there's a little vamp here. Vamp means, like in music terms, like it keeps repeating the same thing, and someone else will either take a solo or a vocal thing or whatever. Just vamp out and just do the first thing that comes to your head. And I was like, wow, it was too tribally and trippy to go nuts with, but I just kind of zoned out and fell into this thing. What you hear on the record is the first thing that I did. I tried to redo it like another 20 times, and he's like, dude, that first time you did it had this spunk about it. That's it. So
dude, it was very creative. It was very catchy. It was so cool. The tribal thing, I did dig it though, because it was so. When I was actually listening, I was like, man, I'm trying to figure out which one's Ray on this piece here, man. I don't know. It was so cool.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Really fun.
So what we're saying, in short, what we're saying is you seem like you like to play music. That's what I'm hearing.
I kind of do, like, a little bit, just a hair bit. But it's like, I have the side band with George Lynch and Doug Pennick, and it's the same thing. A lot of people come up to me and go, dude, I just discovered this KXM. We have 3 records out, but it's on a very small independent label. It's just another musical outlet for us. I mean, George and Doug, King's X has been one of my favorite bands of all time. Dokken back in the day got me through high school. I mean, so it's weird that I'm in a side band with these 2 guys, but it's another thing. Like, I play way different in that band than I do with Korn, because there's no rules in that band. We just do whatever we want, whatever we feel. It's very spontaneous. We don't sit there and write a bunch of songs and go over and over. It's very on the spot. So you have to do that as a musician.
Kind of a jam band type scenario. Nice. Yep. Very cool. I think that, man. How do you feel about playing a game of Would You Rather?
Oh, look at the time. No. Of course. I'm in. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. So we're going to start off kind of tame, and we'll see if we can get a little bit wilder, but I don't think there's kind of a reason why I'm saying some of these things, and we'll pick it up as we go. All right. So would you rather run 100 miles per hour or maybe fly at 10 miles per hour?
run 100 miles. I fly a lot, so I'd rather run 100 miles than I'd be
right. Because that'd be ridiculous. That'd be really fast.
It's awesome. It's like Jim Carrey in that movie. He's in the car.
Would you rather have telekinesis, which is the ability to move things with your mind, or telepathy, which is the ability to read minds? So would you rather move things with your mind or read things?
Oh, I would love to read minds, because there's so many. You know how many times you've been sitting there talking to some dude and you're like, I know you don't mean that, which because in his head he's going like, oh God, I can't wait till this dude takes off, or to be able to read minds. Just as what movie is that where they hear everyone's thoughts? You know what I'm talking about? And it's all garbled because he's in a coffee shop and he's hearing all these people what they're thinking. Anyway,
is it a Nicolas Cage movie?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway,
I think it was Eric Black.
Yeah.
It was Eric. Eric was in that movie. That's what it was. I was actually hoping you'd pick the other choice, because I was like, man, that would be really cool if Ray was playing a show and then he like steps off of the drum platform and the drum is just playing itself, because it's like
that would be cool.
Well, they have self-playing pianos. Why can't they have self-playing drums? I mean, that makes sense to me.
True.
I don't know.
Right.
Whatever. All right, last one. And this is kind of a double for me, because you'll understand why. Would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go, or have free coffee wherever and whenever you want? Oh, wait.
Speaking of coffee, we got Korn coffee.
There you go.
I like that cheap. You see that? Just raced right into that. We can get Wi-Fi anywhere if you have AT&T freaking, what do you call it, 5G?
Yeah. Well,
I have that, so I'd rather have free coffee wherever I want, because that's
free Korn coffee. They actually got some in this cup right here.
Free Korn coffee.
Go to cornwebstore.com, like the way I plug my stuff.
You have to. You have to, man. Yes, absolutely. I don't know.
Hey, seriously, we released a wired blend that's insane. Like we teamed up with this partner, Jeremy Gursey, and he's such a coffee artist that he made this blend for us called Wired Blend. And it's not too over the top, but it's insanely great. Try it. Check it out.
Yeah.
I'll send you some.
Hey, tell us about your shirts, man.
Yes.
We saw the new printed shirts. Those look cool, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My wife, my birthday a couple weeks ago, she's like, I let RayLuzier.com go. And, back when I was with David Lee Roth, I thought I was like, I didn't think I was anything, but I thought my friends were like, you need to get a site, And I remember Dave called me up, you need to get RayLuzier.com. What are you doing? He's old. So I got my site, but I kept it going for a while. But then all the Instagrams, Facebooks, Twitters, all these different sites come out. I'm thinking, okay, why do I need this? Well, my wife reenacted. Now it's RayLuzierDrums.com. So anyone could go on there, and I have some really cool shirts that come out. I'm going to be releasing a lot of cool stuff, like sticks through the years. I have my own signature stick from Vic Firth that I'm going to be signing and selling on my site from different years of different tours that we've done. A lot of people are like, I missed 2016. I'm like, well, guess what? I have it, and I'll sign it for you and we'll do the site. So everyone check that out, and it's
that's super cool.
Yeah, that's
like
incredibly cool. There's a lot of I saw on Instagram those shirts, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to give me one of them. I like having. I'll
look you up half price.
Half price, kid. I'll give it to you for half price. It's in my coat pocket.
Yeah,
come in here and get it. No, it's fine. Fine. Well, real quick before we let you go, website cornofficial.com. Ray, where do we find the album or the song? The Nothing Is Everywhere, right?
Nothing Is Everywhere now, and wow! I just found out from our manager that Can You Hear Me just is still rising in the charts, which is amazing. Thanks for everybody supporting it. And I'm really proud of that record. Everyone knows Jonathan Davis went through a really rough time losing his wife, and something magical happened on that record. And we all got together, when the riffs, the grooves, everything came together, and then John singing about and screaming about everything he went through, it just kind of reminiscent to the old school Korn stuff, but with today's production. And I'm really proud of it. Everyone check
amazing. It out. Yeah, and there's a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff.
There's some surprises coming up. I can't say anything about it, but I don't know when this is going to come out, but maybe it will. We've already been out, but there's a really cool thing that's about to happen.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
We got a tease.
We got a tease there. Oh my gosh. Well,
man, this corn coffee is so good.
Yeah.
Come on, it's Starbucks now.
It actually is.
I know.
Oh man, Ray, we appreciate you hanging out. And if there's anything on the road you want to send back to us, let us know. We'll post it everywhere we can. Not that you need any of our help, but we love.
Oh, I do. Hey, you always need it, man. I appreciate
man,
you guys.
Absolutely. Once again, kornofficial.com. And then also, what's your side project again?
KXM. The letters
yeah.
KXM. Yeah, we have 3 records out on Rat Pack Records, and it's
awesome.
Dig it.
Really cool.
Also, guys, check out ericblackwashere.com and subscribe, like everything, follow whatever the kids are saying these days. Just do that with all the socials everywhere. We'll kind of share some on the screen right here as well. But Ray, again, appreciate it, man. Good luck to everybody that's in the band. To you, keep on drumming. We love you.
Thank you, man.
Awesome.
I appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you, Ray, man.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate it. Eric Black, Parker. We are going to do some more stuff next week. Stay tuned again, man. Let's all hang out again and have a good time. We'll see you guys next time.